Okay. Hello, welcome to 2021, the first and hopefully only virtual the year before a seminar, because our intention, of course, is for next year and every year thereafter for this to be live and in person. Last year, you were perhaps gypped out of the live in person as well, because I took everybody who was ready, willing, and able to Grenada. So we did it there instead. Hello, everybody from Grenada. And that was a magnificent trip and a great way to usher in the decade that is started so spectacularly. And hopefully at some point very, very soon, we'll be able to have in-person seminars again, destination ones, locally, and so on. So I would like to begin by just giving people who are new to this particular seminar a little bit of a background as to what it is that we achieve. This is the one time per year when I attune to guides to get a feel for what we can anticipate for the upcoming year energetically. They usually give me a word for the year, which will be sort of like a dominant theme to help us to navigate. What we've found now since 2012 is that the accuracy of what I bring through is phenomenal. I don't think that anything events that haven't actually come true. So it gives us some encouragement and some trust in the fact that as long as we're paying attention to what guides are saying about what's up and coming, then we know that we'll be able to navigate more aptly and ably whatever might be coming our way, and taking like a higher road than perhaps much of humanity is taking. So interestingly, somebody had mentioned to me earlier today that they couldn't remember what the word of the year was for 2020. So in most of the words, since I've been doing this for 10 years, most of the words have been incredibly encouraging and uplifting and, powerful words. And they've been fun and maybe even a little bit playful. As a matter of fact, that's probably some of the words right there. Last year's word was interesting, and it felt as though it was unstoppable, that I couldn't make it into something a little bit more user-friendly. But the word for last year that we got in Grenada was flexibility. So we came off of years of having the word be magic or limitlessness or powerful. And then last year we got flexibility. So the whole idea of what I was getting in Grenada last year was that there would be a tsunami, a global tsunami. I wasn't given any information about exactly what that entailed or how that would play out. I did do my best to soften the conversation with the people that were there. The idea is not to be afraid, but to have tools to help us navigate what does happen, so that we don't have to tumble, even if the rest of the world is tumbling, or even if loved ones are, tumbling or having a rough time of it, that we can continue to understand ways that it's okay to ride above a wave. And in 2020, the whole theme was that we are surfers. We've been trained to surf. Our surfboards are handcrafted. We've been beautifying them and having them be custom built for us. And when you're riding a surfboard successfully, as we all were, you are having the fun of being above the wave and riding it and being playful. So last year's theme was that if you have the intention to be enlightened and you have the intention to behave differently, even if thousands or millions of people are behaving below the line, that intention gives you the surfboard and the tools that you need to ride any tsunami that might come our way. And I was very happy to see, keeping in touch with the 40 people that did attend the seminar in Grenada last year, that for the most part, I would say that people fared really well, you know, comparatively, while I was seeing so many other populations, you know, really take a major dip. You know, and I'm not saying that they were up and high for the entire wave of events from March through December, but they seem to have the ability to tap into tools that help them to change their perspective, to get back on top, to let go of attachments to certain things. And I did have a good number of people who reported in that they won't say it in public, but they actually wound up having a really good year. And that's kind of, I think it's so encouraging, because one of the reasons why we spend so much time looking at the process of enlightenment is not just because it's fun to understand eternal truths, and it's not just because it's fun that your intuition grows and you get to talk to guides or communicate with the universe in a more active way. All of that is fun. But the primary reason is because the more enlightened you become, the more the troubles that are around you or that humanity is experiencing, they won't tumble you. You get like a free pass. I didn't know that, you know, happiness and the resiliency and the comprehension and the playfulness and the fun and the change in perception and change in perspective was a byproduct of all that I've been doing since 9/11. I started to notice it around, you know, 2007, 8, 9, and 10, and it's been with me for that last decade. But had I known how valuable it was and how amazingly empowering it was, I definitely would have done this in my 20s and grabbed a couple of extra decades of happiness. And that's always my aim, is to help you grab as much happiness as you possibly can without staying in any past troubles or perceptions that might not be uplifting or encouraging to you or bringing you like the life that you really deserve, because we all deserve to be happy and abundant. And I'm going to turn off my phone, and hopefully someone else will turn it on somewhere else. So one of the things that we'll start with today is, of course, what is the year's word? What is the energetic theme that we can expect to be riding through this year? Of course, there's going to be different things that come in. It's not just a singular characteristic to describe the energy for the entire year, but the trends are kind of predictable for guides because they have such an understanding of where we are in our perceptions. Humanity's overall collective consciousness is something that our guides are completely aware of, and they're also completely aware of how and when they shift. So the more people that are involved in a collective energy, the more they can predict with some certainty what we might expect. And they can do things that I can't begin to do, which is also understand the nature of our physical reality too, and how energies in the universe and planetary energies and so on, how it affects consciousness and how it affects outcomes overall. The one thing that I can tell you is that there are energies that are there, just as simple as we can see how the moon affects the tides. There are certainly energies that affect us. But I do find that the more enlightened we become, the more we are able to create our own vibration and kind of power through if there's a vibration that's preventing the masses from lifting up or having a natural sense of optimism return after a period. So that's good news too. And as many people as I speak to in a week or in a year, I get to hear trends of how maybe a universal energy is affecting people. And even things like, you know, I'll have days where people just seem to have a crummy day, no matter how enlightened they are. And they all are having a crummy day on the same day. And things like that do happen. So in addition to like recognizing what the year will be like, we also have to give ourselves permission to have moments, to have a moment that might be a day or a week or an hour, and not judge or project too much about any of our own personal dips. Just sometimes it's a good idea to say, you know what, there's a glitch in the system today, but I think I'm going to get it back. You know, even look at the clock, say, oh, it's noon. I feel like the glitch will be over by 3 o'clock. Because even if you have a few glitches in one given day in the morning, if you say, this is a crappy day, I never should have gotten out of bed, what you're doing is you're projecting that energy into the whole of the day. And you can actually create that experience simply with that thought. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful. One of the things to be mindful is how much your thoughts affect not only your reality, but the people around you. Oftentimes, if I'm coaching couples who are having a rough, I almost said it in, I know I had a life in England once because I almost said it like with a British accent, but if a couple's in a rough spot, one of the things that I really talk about is that even if only one person in the couple is having a conversation with me or their guides, you can affect the energy of the other person simply by changing what you're focusing on, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, you're believing, and then the subsequent actions that you take. So it's not that you're powerless in helping other people or creating an outcome. You do have some power. It's palpable to the people around you, even if they're not consciously aware that you've made a change that they could benefit from. So always give a difference a chance if you feel like you're in a pattern that's not supporting you. So give some kind of difference a chance. Can we completely affect or change the outcome for somebody else? No, we really can't. But we can influence the potentiality of where they might arrive. And likewise, you know, other people can do the same thing for you. They can change the potentiality of where you arise if they're giving you that space and they're giving you that possibility. You know, that's why if you're looking at an ongoing challenge with anyone in particular, it's ongoing because we're usually perpetuating the same energy that got us into it in the first place. But I do have some surprises planned for you today. I've got some magic up my sleeve, and I have a magic sleeve too. So there's plenty of magic up that sleeve. But I would like to begin with a good friend of mine has decided to come in and he would like to wish everybody a good new year. So I wanted to make sure that we didn't have any challenges with technology today. So I am going to show you the conversation that he had and his message to you before we go any further. Hi, I'm so happy to be here with my good friend, Daryl Strawberry. And we just wanted to share a little bit of insight that Daryl has gained over the years. We've been friends for a really long time. And one of the things that I've come to know about him is that the mindset of where you want to be, or the mindset of succeeding or being happy, it's not something that you can rely on circumstances outside of you to be favorable. You have to figure out how to manage it no matter what's going on. So Daryl, so good to see you. Hi.
Great to see you, Karen. Well, thanks for having me. And you know, it's been a long time, and it's good to see that you're continuing to do great work and reaching so many people and encouraging so many people and helping so many people. And you know, I kind of do the same thing today in my life. You know, after all the traveling that I did before, and we got stuck in the middle of a pandemic, and now we go into 2021, and hopefully we can spring forward and continue to do the work of helping others and encouraging others. I mean, it's a time where we all have to understand that, yes, we have been in the storm, but the storm will pass. And in the midst of storms, what do? Either we're going to grow or we're going to go backwards. And yes. I think during this time, being in the storm that we've been in, I've been able to grow. I've been able to energize myself and keep myself motivated and focused on the good. You know, but because if you get caught up into the system of a society that we're living in the nation with social media and news and outlet, you'll go wrong, you know, following that. And I think you have to follow your heart. You have to follow your spirit. You have to be motivated to cheer yourself up. You got to wake up in the morning and say, this is a new day. No
Oh,
matter what it's been like, this is a new day. Every day is a new day that we get a chance to wake up and make it joyful for yourself. Do something good for yourself. I think the most important thing, Karen, for all of us right now, what people have been through, is to really be able to get back with yourself. When was the
yeah.
last time that we actually put a pause on our life and really actually gotten back with ourselves and spent some really quality time with ourselves and motivating ourselves through this process? So 2021 could be a special year for you, but it's up to you. It's up to you to spring forward. It's not up to anyone else. We can encourage you, we can motivate you, but you have to be the person to get up and motivate yourself.
Oh, I love that. And now everyone can see why we've been friends for so long, because we both have that feeling that it's on us. It's up to us. It's not up to what's happening outside of us. And as long as you take that attitude that you say about jumping out of bed in the morning and saying it's a brand new day, then you can make this day and then the days after what you want it to be.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not all about what we look like, say from the outside. I think
Yes.
too many of us get consumed with that, and our insides are depleted, and we haven't worked on those things on the inside of us, because we all have some, insecurities about ourselves. And for us to constantly be able to get better at that, we got to keep working on ourselves and improving ourselves, and don't look at anyone else. And I would just encourage people, don't point fingers at people, because I learned a good thing about that. When we pointed fingers at people, three fingers are pointing right back at me. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
basically telling me I need to look at myself. And if I do look at myself, uh, I can be able to step to the next level of life and enjoy it at the fullness.
I think that's great. I think it's beautifully said. And I think what you said about social media ties into that, because social media really does make us externally driven. We're looking for what other people are doing, even if we're not sure that they're portraying a truth, right? And we're
Oof.
looking at how they respond to us instead of figuring out how we respond to ourselves. So that ties into
Well,
it.
you make a good point about that social media, because you don't even know who's on the other side, really.
No, you don't.
Just because they can hold a conversation,
Yeah.
does it mean they're happy? Does it mean they're joyful?
Yeah.
Does it mean they're living a full life? Or is it just words that people are saying? Actually, I don't really consider social media a place to, really get my affirmation. I don't really look at the news. I don't, that's, our
Yes.
nation,
No, me neither.
our
Yeah.
nation is enough,
Yeah.
the brokenness of people.
Yes.
Um, be fruitful. I mean, be fruitful in these times. I think it's up to you. It's up to you to make yourself fruitful in the midst of trials and tribulations. And that's what we have all faced at this time, but it can be done. I mean, look at me. You've done it, Karen. I've done it.
Yeah.
We continue to push people into it.
Yeah.
So that's the
And I
exciting
think
part.
neither one of us came from ease, right? Neither one of us had this optimal, ideal upbringing where we felt loved and supported and appreciated. So if we could turn that around, then anybody can turn anything around, right?
Yeah, because nothing's easy. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be easy. If it was so easy for us, then we all shouldn't be here. We should just be all gone if it's easy. If it's not challenging to you, then it's not worth it.
Right.
I think the challenges that I faced in life in my baseball career was great, and the challenges I faced in the trials and tribulations of the brokenness of my life was great, and being able to pull myself up. I think that's the most important thing. Nobody else is going to pull me up. You have to pull yourself up.
Yeah. At least most of us, when we falter, we get to falter privately, and to come back with a smile on your face and feeling proud of yourself when you're in the public eye. I think that's a million times harder. And I've always appreciated that about you and the wisdom that you've gained along the way. And
Well,
if I could tell one little funny thing, one of my favorite memories is, I can't even remember how many years ago, but um, Daryl and I were watching a Mets and Yankees game. And, I'm just sitting there, and I'm always curious, like, he and I don't really talk sports very much. No one's ever seen me running around in Mets gear or anything like that. But what was really interesting was when a batter was up and things were happening and plays were happening, I would love listening to Darryl narrate what was going on in someone's head. And it's interesting to think, all right, if bases are loaded and the batter's up and it's, 2 outs, and Darryl could say what he was thinking or what he thinks the batter might be thinking or what could be helpful for him. It's really interesting to get that insight, because you get to realize that what happens out on the baseball field is a metaphor for life, right? There's a lot of players on the field, but it has a lot to do with what we bring to the table and what we're doing with our own minds and self-perceptions and confidence.
No question, and that's a good point there. And I think the key to that was always being able to stay focused. Do not lose sight. Do not lose focus. And it's the same way in everyday life. We can't lose sight. We can't lose focus. It's like a baseball game. It's 9 innings, and you may struggle the first couple times up, but the game is not over. If it's still the 7th inning, you may get another shot at it. So you still have that one shot to do something great to turn things around. So always remember that, everybody. You can turn your season around. I just wrote a book about that.
Oh,
turn your
did?
season around.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. When will it be released?
It was released yesterday, actually.
Oh, look at our timing. For real.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
So it's on Amazon. It's called Turn Your Season Around. And, it has to
Oh,
do with
good
my
to
faith.
know.
It has to do with my faith, how, God transformed my life. But,
Yeah.
if I didn't participate in the transformation, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter where we come from and what we've been through. You have to participate. And just like in a ball game, you have to participate until the ball game is over, and don't give up on yourself. Don't quit, because you never know when you can turn it around.
I love that. That's great. I'll provide a link for everybody, and I really appreciate it. And I love the timing. We know that coincidence is a purposeful intersecting of events. So if your book was released yesterday and we're here today, that means it's powerfully meant to be. So I appreciate that. So thanks for spending the time with us today. Darryl, it's always good to see you, and can't wait till we can be out and about and see each other in person again. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Karen. It's great seeing you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
I'm back. How's everybody doing? Can everyone hear me? I just want to make sure I got the technology. Okay, excellent. So I thought that was a nice thing that Darryl decided to give us some of his time. I've been friends with him for a very long time, and I really haven't asked him for a favor. This was just something that I told him what kind of seminar I was doing this week, and he was gracious enough to say that he would love to chat with me and say hello to you and set you up maybe with his own version of a good vibration for the year. So anyway, I would like to now, without any further information, I'd like to tell us what the year word is. The word of the year is something that'll help us to set the tone. And if we stay mindful of it all year long, again, it can help you to navigate what's going on. I want to make mention that before I give you that, I just told you I was going to give it to you, and now I'm not going to give it to you. But for years, from probably 2012 on, I would be referring to 2020 as clear vision. And one thing I was mindful of saying was clear vision is not something that's going to happen on January 1st, 2020. But January 1st, 2020 was going to usher in a new decade, a new era, a new opportunity, a new kind of vibration for humanity. But one of the things that makes that ushering in happen beneficially for more people, and including us, is if we agree to focus on the positive potentiality of this decade's vibration. So we can know what that vibration is, and we can understand we're in a decade of clear vision. But if we're going to just sit back and watch and have an expectation that everybody else is going to get the stuff done, then we're going to prolong the amount of time it will take for the vibration to become more widespread. to have more impact on more people. So the word for the year is helped to remind us of that. It's designed to make us conscious of the energy that we personally are putting into the universe this year, but also this whole decade. It's a word that I happen to love, but what the guides are doing is they're using this word not only as a word in its own right, but they are also using it as an adjective for any other word that you put to it. So let me show you what the word is, and then we can begin to discuss what this means for us for this year. I love when we're live, people raise their hand and shout out what the word might be. And I really kind of love when people do that. Let's take a moment. If you would like to unmute, let's take a moment and raise your hand if you'd like to shout out what you'd like the word to be, or what you think it's going to be, what you might be intuiting yourself. Anybody want to give us a quick idea? Let's see. Samantha. Wait, I got to unmute you.
Passion.
Passion. Oh, I think I'm going to just write a list of the words just for the fun of it. Passion. Okay, who else do we have?
I'm going to say unity.
Unity. I love that word. Anyone else want to shout something out?
Resilience.
Resilience. Stephanie.
Elevate.
Elevate. Wow, these are great. Little do you know, you're doing my work for me, because now for the next 10 years, I don't have to talk to guides. I'm just going to use this list of words. This is how I get it done, people. Patty.
I keep getting the word forgiveness.
Oh, that's beautiful. I saw some others. Diane.
Transform.
Transform?
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. That's a great word. I'm looking. I know that there were more. Anyone else want to shout one out?
I'm going to shout out support.
Support. Support. I don't know how much of your screen, on my screen you can see, but I'll make sure that it's visible.
Compassion.
Compassion. I'm not going to have any room for the word that they actually gave me for this year, but that's a good thing.
There's also a bunch in the chat room.
Oh, are there? Okay, I'll read that too. And I'll read them out loud, because if anybody watches the recording afterward, they won't be able to see. Support, action, connection, home run. Marie with her great sense of humor. That's a good one. Home run. Empathy, expansion, freedom, heal. Oh, wow. I wish I had someone. Oh, mindful, grow, growth. It's funny. Grow came right before growth, and they're both there back to back. Surprise, happiness. I wish I had an assistant right now that could write all these words on the board for me, because this is so beautiful. These are phenomenal words. I love them. Connection. I'm reading a few of them again. Action, support. I love this. This is really great. Very good.
Can I say one? I'm not even sure. Am I on mute or not?
No, you're unmuted now. I can hear you, Monica.
Okay, Karen. 1 equals 1. O-N-E equals W-O-N.
Ah.
2 words, but.
Or 1 if you're only listening, right? I like that. That's really good. Yeah, that's very, very cool. Anyone else? Because I know you're eager to find out. Is this the word of the year? Any one of these? All right, I did get it a little bit in advance, because I'm privileged by talking to them in advance, and not because I had to give Derek the word usually 48 hours in advance so he could write the song, compose the song, write the lyrics and then perform for us today. You must have been a little relieved this year, Derek, huh? No, but that's not why I got the word. I got it to help me understand what kind of gift you guys might be receiving in the future, because I have some prep work for that. So let us write what the word of the year is. Not that it won't be 1 = 1, and not that it won't be compassion, but the word of the year is, oh, how much, you really can't see that much, huh? Okay, there you go. You can see all of them except for passion, which is up higher, but it's good for me to know what's in your field of view anyway. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Now you're wondering, is it sensational? Is it sexy? Is it supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? I'll give you the second word. I mean letter. Is it succeed? Is it success? Is it soulful? Is it, Derek, you get the word even when I don't give you the word. How did you do that? See, man, there he is. The word is super. The word is super. And interestingly, super happens to be one of my favorite words. I would not have thought that it would become the word of the year, but it's just a word I've always enjoyed. It just feels playful. It feels positive. It feels super good. When I started to communicate with guides about the word of the year, and you needed the yes, Derek. You could have told me you got it 48 hours ago and you already composed a song and you're going to play it in 2 minutes. It in its own right, it's just such a positive and playful and fun word. But as I was putting together thoughts about what kind of gift I would like to send to everybody, I wanted to understand a little bit more of the intention of the word for the year, what the guides were anticipating for this year. And one of the things that was magnificent is that they really saw it not only as a playful, fun, highly energized word in its own right, but it also makes a phenomenal adjective to emphasize that what we focus on will be expanded. So super is also about expanding wherever we're putting ourselves. This is a year for expanding the energy that we're focusing on. You know, as the guide said earlier, we can't really count on everybody else being the ones that move the decade of 2020 forward toward clear vision. It's important that we get our vibration in there as well. So when you know that what you're focusing on will be expanded, it helps you to be mindful, not only for your own joy and your own happiness, but it helps you to be mindful that when you have something you're focusing on it, you're expanding it not just for yourself, but you're expanding it for everyone. It's interesting because someone said expand as the word, and I think I've used it like 30 times in the last 2 minutes. So let's see how this looks. If I decide that today's a day for resiliency, I'm going to be super resilient. I'm not just going to be resilient, I'm going to be super resilient. If I decide that this year, 2021, is a year for moving away from the polarization of humanity and moving toward the uniting of us, I'm going to be focusing on super unifying or super unity. Okay. So any energy I put toward seeing us as one now is going to be expanded. It's going to be made bigger. It's going to be greater. I understood back in probably 2015 or 16 that as our vibrations individually increased, we would have more energetic impact on the planet. And this is exactly what this year is all about. It's about saying, if you're in a position of caring about the vibration of being positive, of being happy, of believing in possibility, of having optimism, having that sense of positive possibility all around. It doesn't mean you have to be 24/7 happy. I always want to make sure I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But if you have the intention to say life is good and life can keep getting better for me and for others, when you have that intention, your vibration super expands into the universe. So it makes you a more impactful player on the globe. It makes you a more impactful player in your community. It makes you a more impactful player at your job or in your family or in your neighborhood. It's like there was a commercial a long time ago that when so-and-so speaks, people listen. Your energy is pretty much like that, that what you do, what you focus on, you're in a sense becoming more and more of a role model or mentor to others. You don't have to be perfect. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm sure if I asked everybody to stand up, you know, most of you are wearing shorts or ripped up sweats or maybe sweats with last night's dinner on it. There's no such thing as perfect. We're allowed to be ourselves, you know, and especially in the privacy of our own home, we don't want anybody judging what it is that we're doing anyway. But if you wake up in the morning and you say, you know, life sucks, then because you are a person who's becoming enlightened and enlightened in some way, it's going to super suck, right? You're going to put a super suck out there. But if you wake up in the morning and you say, today is going to be a great day, today is a super day, then it's going to be a super, super day. If you say it's going to be a super day, your energy is going to push out there more. If you think about certain people that you know innately are, I'm trying to think of the term. I know we understand when we say old soul, we understand what that means. It really doesn't mean anything since there's no such thing as time. But we get that it's a person who has like wisdom in their fingertips, and they just exude a sense of knowingness, and you feel comfortable to be around them. You feel welcome. You feel appreciated. You feel like maybe you're not judged. If you know a person like that, there's a reason that people are drawn to him or her. And the reason is because they have become more enlightened, and that energy is magnetic, and that energy is fun to be around, and that energy is enjoyable. So you see yourselves as that vibration, and that's how your focus becomes amplified. What you do this year becomes amplified. So any little positive thing that you do, any attempts that you make to help somebody see a different, more loving perspective, or to make a choice that could support a healthier environment or a healthier community or a healthier relationship with politics. Anytime you make any attempt toward making things more loving for others or giving suggestions about how it may become more loving, your vibration is amplified. Throughout the years, I've made sure that even though the gains from enlightenment are phenomenal and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, there are some pitfalls to it as well. And one of those pitfalls is that the vibration, for good or bad, positive or negative, that you put into the waters have more impact. Okay. And again, it's not that you should be perfect, but if you decide that 2020 was not a good year for you and you just want to drag through 2021 and feel like a curmudgeon and feel like nothing's working out right, and oh, this looks like it's going to be a crummy year, your energy as an enlightened being is amplified. It will have more energetic effect on the people around you. Okay. You know, I've met a lot of interesting and influential people over my life, and I've studied accidentally, but almost observationally, like the mindset or the vibration of people that have the most impact on others. And I recognize that high vibrational energy people, which is another term I think for enlightenment, high vibrational energy people do, in fact, have an ability to move toward what they're viewing with more adeptness. When they set their goal on, they take that vibration, they take that high vibration and they move toward it more effectively. And it doesn't matter what the goal is. The goal could be to retire and live on the beach and, you know, take a bike ride for a cup of coffee every morning, but they move toward that goal faster. Joanne, I happen to see that your hand is raised. Is that for right now? No, okay. I'm doing my best to manage all of the parts. And as you saw by my playing of the video earlier, even though I did practice, technology and moving parts and I don't get along that well. So just to let you know, we're going to have to go through that again at some point today. So just have patience and bear with me, but I'll get you there. I will get you there. So this is our word, and this word is, it's important, especially for us and for other people that you know that have a high vibrational energy. It's important for us to recognize that the big things and the little things we do have more impact than what other people might be doing. And so you kind of feel like you have a helping hand. So if you decide, I think a great example is, I know she's on right now, a great example is a client who had approached a place where she bought her organic foods and her smoothies all the time and suggested that them serving it, the takeout in styrofoam was not necessarily helpful to the environment. And she asked for them to consider an alternative. Long story short, within a very, very short amount of time, like weeks, that particular place, that establishment changed from styrofoam toward something that was biodegradable. So maybe if you're not as high vibration where you are and things are getting amplified, maybe moving from styrofoam to something else, maybe it would take a little bit more effort, a few more knocks on the door, a call to the manager, a little bit more if it's something that you felt really powerful about. But you can see that having that vibration that's palpable, it helps you to move toward your goal more quickly. You have allies. They might be invisible, but you have allies. And then those allies, they transform the people around you into becoming allies as well. So understand your power. Understand that what you choose to do, what you choose as a goal, how you choose to feel, how you choose to think, how you choose to act, what you choose to believe. In this year, 2021, as we're gaining more of the vibration of clear vision for humanity in this era, you are super amplifying whatever it is that you focus on. I know for myself, it takes about a second to change my perspective about something. It takes about a second. I might have lingering thought of it, but then I can change it around in a second. And I recognize that if I'm staying in a low vibrational thought or feeling, then it's my choice. And for some reason, I want to be there. I have to figure out why I want to be there. But in most cases, I realize I really don't want to be there. I don't. And that's why I can turn it around very quickly. What's really interesting is when I do turn it around, nothing bad happens because I chose not to suffer or I chose not to struggle. I still come up with the same solutions. I still come up with the same long-term plan, but I do so happily and nothing suffers because I've chosen not to suffer. But everything on the other side of it does go more smoothly. It goes more smoothly. We can supersize our day. Right after our home run, Marie, I'm reading Just want to make sure I'm caught up on the chat room. Oh, endurance. I didn't see that. Health, absolutely. Super health, super focus. Oh, there's more here. I love this. Elevate. That's one of my favorites. Super elevate. Well, I realize that everything has one overriding theme since I've started to do the work that I do, and that is to do exactly that, to elevate people. I also want to make sure, and I've said it already today, so if your guides are emphasizing it again, there's a purpose for them emphasizing it again. But it's really important that we don't expect ourselves to be perfect, or that we don't expect 24/7 to always feel like we're dancing on our toes. What is more important is that we're aware of where we're choosing to live or how long we're choosing to live there. The one seminar that I've given for a decade already, Freedom from Negative Thinking, what it gives is tools toward helping change our focus from a negative vibration toward a positive one. And one of the tools that worked for me back 15 years ago was extremely effective, which was putting a time limit on how long I would feel dreary or pessimistic or angry or sad or disempowered about something that triggered me. And I did go through a very careful process of giving myself that time limit and recognizing that I could have all of my emotions within the time limit. And then once I became adept at getting through that series of emotion within that time frame, I was able to make the time frame shorter and shorter and shorter. So I physically retrained myself not to perpetuate any experience from negative triggers. And it is amazing. We can train ourselves to do anything. Like as Daryl was talking about how he trained himself to focus regardless of whether he was in the home field position or he was at a competitor's field. If he's up at bat and there's 2 outs, he doesn't have the option of feeling depleted because he's in the competitor's stadium and then letting that energy affect what he does at bat. It's not an option, right? So he learned how to focus through it. And the same is true for us. You can teach yourself how to focus through it. The thing you want to be mindful of is that there are a lot of people that you may know, or you find yourself doing this sometimes, is that they put on a happy face, but they're not feeling the happiness underneath it. And what they're doing is they're squashing or stuffing feelings that are real. You can't stuff a feeling and expect it to go anywhere but inside of you, inside of your physical body. It's going to be with you. So as I'm talking about retraining myself for releasing the triggers more quickly, retraining means during the period of time that I allotted for the emotions and the experiences that came almost naturally or as a consequence of my own upbringing, I did move through the emotions and I processed them. When I started that, I gave myself 3 days, and then eventually I gave myself 1 day, and eventually I gave myself 3 hours. It wasn't that I was teaching myself how to take that emotion and stuff it somewhere and put on a happy face and tell everybody that everything is great and bright. That's not going to help you because it still will be within you. It still resides within you. It's the explanation for a lot of times clients do not understand why someone that is so positive in their life has just contracted some kind of a chronic illness. You're like, I don't understand. If the vibration of positivity is supposed to help us to be more vibrant and more healthy and more resistant to disease or disharmony, how could this person who's so positive in my life, how could they be struggling like this? Just because you're seeing a happy face on someone doesn't mean that the insides have processed what you're seeing on the outside. So I took care to make sure that I wasn't putting on a happy face or saying happy things if I wasn't feeling it on the inside. My effort that I put into managing my experiences and my triggers my effort went to the inside, not the outside. You know, I talk often about overcoming the need for illness. A need for illness was a tremendous part of my first couple of decades. I overcame that need. And did I change things with how I live with my body? Somewhat. But what I changed more than anything is what I do with the negative triggers of my childhood experiences. Once I was able to pull those out of me and get them out of my cells and get them out of my being and get them out of my experience and release them, that's one of the major contributing factors to why I became more healthy. So it's not stuffing. It's not even necessarily positive thinking. Positive thinking is not enough. I can have a positive thought, but I could feel really crummy about the thought even. It's the thinking, the feeling, the believing, and the actions that we take. Okay. So this is a year for supersizing, for super amplifying anything that it is that we put up. I'm going to put something out there today. And what it is that I want to do is I want to help all of us not only amplify our intentions individually, but I want us to collectively, since we all are here at the same moment, I want us to amplify our collective consciousness. Because if you look around at the people that you know on this program, and you look around at the people that you know or have met, what you do know is that this is a very, very soulful group of people. And you do know that this is a group of people who are unstoppable. And you do know that this is a group of people that are exactly in that position of what we're talking about, those who are amplifying everything that it is that they're putting out there simply by the nature of their own choices in enlightenment. So what we're going to do is we're going to first listen to a good friend of mine give us an incredibly powerful and brief meditation. And we're going to go into breakout rooms. And in those breakout rooms, you'll be together with 4 or 5 people. And what we'd like you to do in a couple of minutes, so we don't want to make a big arduous deal of it, just see it as lighthearted and fun, is collectively put together a sentence of what your intention for this planet is, for this globe. So what we'll come back with is that we'll have a bunch of different sentences from each group, and we will post all of those intentions. If you guys want to elect one person to speak it, I feel like it would be a lot more powerful if someone felt comfortable reading it to the entire group. But the idea is that since we're already aware that we are amplifying our intentions, then after today, please go through the same experiencing and amplifying your intention for the year. But together today, since we have the opportunity to be together, let's put out a lot of different views of how we can amplify a good intention for the whole planet. All right. If we read these and focus on them periodically throughout the year, you're going to amp it up again. You're going to make it super powerful. And if you don't, there'll be superpower just in what it is that we experience today by being together and reading them and sharing them already. Oh, Dawn, you have 5 people right there. I see that, right? But I don't see you. Okay. So if you have 5 people there, I don't think I can. You do, you have 5 people right there. I don't think I have the ability to keep you out of the breakout rooms, Dawn. So if it winds up that you're with a lot of people, you'll figure it out in your group. Okay. I don't think I can cut you out. So when I put you in your breakout groups after the meditation, just unmute yourself. You'll have a few minutes to put together a collective sentence of what your intention is that you would like to see on the planet in this upcoming year. And then, like I said, if you would like to have a volunteer that would be willing to read it to us all when we come back, that would be fantastic. And if you'd prefer to just type it into the chat room, that's wonderful too. And you could even do both if you like. You might have one that one person that wants to type and the other person that wants to speak, but however you decide is wonderful. But what I'd like to do is to make sure that we clear our minds first. And in order to clear our minds, I have one of my favorite meditators on the planet. Let's get him looking adorable. Where is he? Can you hear me? Marty?
Of course I
there
hear
he is.
you.
Okay, there's my guy. All right, so Marty is going to step us through a couple of minutes of a meditation. And as you are aware, even though I'm well trained in the technology portion of this, I'm going to have to step through getting your breakout rooms after he finishes, but I don't want to ruin the vibration of the meditation that you had. So do me a big favor and keep your eyes closed and yourself in a really comfortable position until I tell you that your breakout rooms are ready. So you don't, in case I stumble through anything without grace, then you won't even notice or come out of your amazing state that Marty can help you to get into. All right, Marty, are you
Yes.
ready to put us in that powerful place?
Yeah, I'm already there. So
Good.
just from listening. So yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I think before we even close our eyes, we should just take a look around at each other, because that's what I just did for a few seconds. All of our high vibrational signatures and faces. Really cool. So, and just get comfortable, however that is for you personally. And let's close our eyes. And just start with a couple of simple breaths. Very simple. Just feeling ourselves here in this place, this beautiful year before us. We have this word, super powerful word. And I'm going to ask that we just take a few breaths, but just make them a little bit longer and a little bit slower and a bit more purposeful than normal. This automatically brings us into a deeper state of awareness and presence. And this is the place where we can feel the power and the abundance of the word super. Super powerful. Just appreciate that sense, that feeling, and that perception. How we all ended up here together, this time, this place, in this group. And I would like to just recognize all of the abundance, the abundant nature that is always available for us, to us, and within us. And even if we would just think about one tree from this place of presence, we would understand all of the abundance that emanates just from that one tree. The millions and millions of leaves that have existed just from that one tree. And then the air around us, seemingly limitless. Feel it as it holds you, gently touches your face and your body. Super connected, super abundant. How about all the billions of stars in the sky? Super expansive. The endless rays of light from the sun. We live in a universe that is constantly expanding, forever creating more and more. This is super exciting. So as we get ready to move into these breakout rooms and these breakout groups, let's go in with this knowing that we are super, super vibration, super expansion, super human beings. And just bask and rest in this super knowing that we have created a super collective. As you get ready and you are comfortable, set, just sit in this expansive state, being super excited to move into our breakout rooms. Thank you.
Come on, go team.
Hello, everybody. Are we all back from our little rooms, our little escapes here? Okay, just to make things a little bit more organized, I'm going to just call someone from the first group just to get things started so we can see how it'll work. And then after that, just raise your hand if you're the spokesperson after the first person reads their sentence. But I have to I just want to see the face of the first person I'm going to call because it helps me to stay organized, that I know each group has had an opportunity to share with us. All right, Stryker.
What? You want me to go?
Are you the spokesperson for your group?
Yeah.
What, they happen to get a motivational speaker in their group, so they just took advantage of that?
They're very nice.
Hey, any professional athletes here want to do that marathon for me next week?
We had the best group.
Okay, so let's hear what you have to say.
We wrote, "We are all connected and it's time for forgiveness and to listen to each other and create super soulful connections." Ooh,
wow, that's a great way to start. I really like that. That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
That, yeah, awesome. If anybody wants to type that in so that we have it as part of the transcript too, that would be phenomenal. But if not, I'll take it off the recording later. So let me see, would somebody else like to go? Ricky, I see you.
Hi.
Hi.
We said to honor and expand the interconnectedness of all life.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's fantastic. Wow, that's great. Okay, wow. I'm just gonna get lost in all of this and absorbed in it. Nice. All right, who's next? Jay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Our group,
Karen.
Our group came up with all you need is love, peace, and kindness, supersized.
That's great. I really love that. That's great. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, who's next? Grace? I'll let you do it. You unmute yourself, Grace.
Okay. So happy to see so many awesome faces here today. Okay. Thanks to our group for letting me have a big mouth. They did a great job. They did awesome. 2021 will manifest a heart-centered shift that creates a more soul-filled universe where everyone shines more brightly and where truth, peace, and love prevail.
Wow. Wow. Oh, I love that. Wow. I'm definitely going to get a list of all of these and send it out to everybody. How can I not, right? So we can see our own and everybody else's as well. Okay. So Michelle, you're up.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I love Dog Group. It was so beautiful. So Kenneth already wrote it in the chat. Create a united world filled with love, positive energy, and unity.
Wow.
Put that
Oh,
forward.
I love that. Wow. Okay, Victoria, you ready?
Okay, so ours, I guess, is similar to the last one where it was uniting the world, but our wording is a little different. So I feel like I need like a 1940s, like, I don't know, you'll understand in a
One
second.
of those
Like,
microphones, right?
yeah.
We'll
So
all envision it together.
Our intention as Earthlings is to evolve into a global citizenry. I think I got that. I don't know where we're going, but it was to unite the world.
I like that. That's really good. And the 40s microphone helps.
Right, you need that because we're
You
calling
need the
ourselves
vibration of it. I can see that. Excellent. Okay, let's see who we have next. We have, I saw.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So we forgot to nominate a group leader.
So you're nominating yourself?
I'm just going to nominate myself.
What decade will you be joining us from? Will it be the 30s, the 40s, or are you going to do 20?
We'll do the 2030s.
Okay, that's pretty
good. So we came up with to know our individual superpowers and to use them to heal ourselves and the whole world in our own authentic way.
Wow. Oh, I love that. These are all so fantastic. It's going to be so exciting to see them all in one document. I'm definitely sending this out to everybody. This is fantastic. I love that. And did you type that too? Oh, you probably said the microphone because you know technology. I should have you come here and produce this for me. Okay. I know that there was another person. Let's see. Anyone else?
Me.
Okay, good.
I'm just gonna type it into the group right now. But
oh, there she is. Now I see you. Okay. Yeah.
The backstory is that my part of this was the stepping out of your comfort zone part, and obviously I'm not a spokesperson type of person, so I'm the nominee, and we decided I would sing it. So I'm gonna do it really quick. Uncovering your gateway to super truth and trust in your intuition. Stepping outside your comfort zone into truth, kindness, light, love, joy, and oneness to become your superstar self. Okay, guys, I did it. All right.
And I think everybody right here is very happy that you didn't go first.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Wow, that was really nice. That was amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm having a hard time scrolling through and seeing who's next.
Can you hear me, Karen?
Yes, that's all I needed was for you to unmute yourself.
Okay, it's Christina.
Yay,
Hi, everyone.
Christina.
Okay, so our group was all about heartfelt action for the year, and we said that we would like to see super self-loving souls spreading joy through heartfelt acts of kindness.
Wow. Man, these are amazing. Absolutely amazing. They all have some essence that's similar to each other, but these are really, really beautiful. Wow. And thank you for typing that, Steph. Okay. It turns out easier if someone just unmutes themselves if someone else is going.
Can you hear me? Hi, Karen. Oh,
okay.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you said hi, Karen.
Oh, hey there.
Hi. I think I was group number 10. I forgot. And,
okay. Good to see you.
We were about togetherness, and we decided as a group to go with together with no judgment and acceptance. We are one with all our different parts, which makes us super.
Oh.
And I typed it in already.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. And thank you for typing it too. That's beautiful. Beautiful. These are great. Okay, now I heard that there was another person that was speaking up.
Okay,
So.
yeah, I typed ours in already as well. It says, in 2021, we are evolving and growing in peace, unity, and super boundless acceptance.
I love that. All right, excellent. I know that I think there were 12 rooms. I'm not sure how many people spoke. Just let me glance, just raise your hand or unmute if there's somebody. Oh, Krista. Hi, Krista. That's right. Your group.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. Excellent.
Hold
How are
on,
you? Yeah, I know. There's more than one device on in that room right now. We can hear all of that.
Is that better? Can you not hear all of the?
Now I can hear you well.
Okay. So our group.
Good to see you, Krista.
You too. Our intention for the planet is for people to be authentic and self-aware so we can stand in our own super selves.
Wow. Beautiful. Wow. That's gorgeous. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay. Were there any others? Just unmute yourself.
I haven't heard anybody from group 1 yet, so I'm going to chime in.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We are all one source and the same energy, radiating kindness, unity, tolerance, compassion, and love.
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that. All right, I'm not sure, but that might have been the last one. Anyone else? Just speak up now. Unmute yourself if I've missed anybody, because I'm definitely not going to miss anybody. All right. And if you haven't typed it into the chat room and you want to do so, fantastic. It'll make it easier for me to send it out to everybody. But do expect that I will be sending it out. We'll use the whatever email address you registered from. I will send out a document with all of these intentions, all of these super, super intentions. I'll send them out to everybody. I really appreciate it. And it feels good. And it's so nice to listen to. That's a lot of people that have put forth an intention that's similar to one another. And I love the way a lot of you were able to weave in a personal individual focus and make it a part of a stronger globe and intention for the globe. You know, it's interesting how when you're increasing your own happiness, it changes just your place on the globe. So when we are focusing on that, it doesn't mean that we're not focusing on something outside of ourselves. I've always said that if every person on the planet loved themselves, then everything that we know to be disharmonious, from poverty to crime to disease, war, unhappiness, invisibility feelings, loneliness, anything, all of that dissolves. So even though we're really focusing on what we want for the globe and putting out our intention there, it really does start within us. When we continue to focus on achieving that for ourselves, we actually are making the world a better place. And speaking of making the world a better place, let me glance around for another guest that I have with us today who would like to take a few minutes of our time. And Gay, are you with me? Okay, I don't.
Here I am.
Oh, there she is. Okay, cool. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. As a strong match to the theme for the year and the theme for the day, I'm going to hand over the microphone to Gay for a few minutes because she wants to share an intention that we have had the great privilege of already wanting to put into forward motion. So Gay, how are you today? You look beautiful.
I'm good. Thank you. I'm kind of like Karen. I use the word super a lot. I think I say super cool, super excited. I love that Carol Ann just said superstars because that was from Grenada.
Right.
And I'm definitely super honored to speak to such a high vibe group. And what Karen asked me to do, and I'm timing myself, 5 minutes, is to talk about just spiritual billionaires and how it started and where it stands today. So I checked my journals and I went back to October of 2018. We were at a seminar, a weekend seminar, and we just got along so well. Some of us knew each other, some of us didn't, but it was such a high vibe group, kind of like this beautiful group. And right after the seminar, Tom bought us all a lottery ticket. And he was amazing. It was I think it was the first $1 billion lottery ticket. And he said, if we win, we're going to split it. And we didn't win, but what happened the next day, and it kind of came through me, but I think it came through all of us, was someone said, did we win? Are we billionaires? And it just came right through me. I just wrote, we didn't win, but we're spiritual billionaires. And we were kind of looking for like some kind of name to bond us. And it just took off from there. Like it just stuck. And Karen started calling us spiritual billionaires and SBs. And then we made mugs. I had a friend of mine put like a little logo together for us. But this was in 2018. And we kind of let it sit for a couple of years. It just kind of like marinated the term, and Karen would use it in seminars. We had another seminar where we used it a lot in May of 2019. And then this week, Karen asked me to kind of like take it to the next step. Like the guides basically dropped into Karen. And at the same time, Bill, who was in Grenada, part of that amazing group, also bought us a lottery ticket. So I feel like it's all of us linked into one. And it was $1 billion lottery ticket. And he kind of said the same thing. Like, someone said, did we win? And I'm like, we're spiritual billionaires. So it kind of stuck. And the guides really catapulted us. They want us to take it somewhere else. So I started an Instagram account this week. And Karen's been starting something called Intent 2, which is a 501c3. And she just wants everyone to know that whatever we do with the Spiritual Billionaire account, whatever ways we want to grow together, that we can use her 501c3 to kind of like, instead of us all having to go through the process of getting one ourselves, if we have any charitable, anything we want to do, we can all do it under the umbrella of Karen. And then Jen is going to help me kind of manage the account, because we were thinking of doing podcasts. We were thinking of just doing like Facebook Lives. We might do a Facebook as well. And we might change the name to Spiritual Billionaires Unite, because we want to give it a little bit of an action in there. And we just want to make it a place for all of us, kind of like a limited amount of people for now, but a place for us to just feel safe to kind of grow in abundance and with kindness and with soulfulness. So it's almost like Piece It Together, but it's like in action. It's like an actionable little site for us. So I've never done anything like this before. And I would love for you guys to maybe help me grow it. I'm not even sure what grow it means. And maybe Karen can help us with that. But like, do we want to grow followers? Do we just want to grow within ourselves first with this group? And just, we're such talented people that I'm just so like in awe of all of you on Piece It Together. And every time I see someone's business growing. So I feel like we have a good kind of launching point, you know? So we'll invite everybody. And if you don't have an Instagram, maybe email me either a hashtag that I could use, or maybe your favorite quote, a favorite video, just to get us started. And then, like I said, we'll just see where it goes. But we're ready to take it to the next level, I think. And I had this story come to me, and I'm just checking my time. I did it wrong. Why does it say an hour? Oh no. Okay, real quick.
That's okay.
A really quick story.
You and I belong to the same technology club, Gay.
We do. It's an hour. So my daughter, this is a story for us, and it's also so co-created. She studied anthropology in college, and she heard of a story this week of a bone that was found 30,000 years ago in Israel. No, it was planted there in Israel 30,000 years ago by Homo sapien, Neanderthal kind of hybrids. But they found it in 2014, and it was the first time they found a bone that had healed. So before that, every bone they found, if it was broken, it stayed broken. So from that point on, we evolved as a species because the community had to come together to heal the bone. They had to help the person and not abandon them, and they didn't perish. So it was a huge turning point in evolution. And I feel like that's what we have. We are a community filled with superstars, and we have this love and support. And I feel like we're the light workers. We can really take this to an incredible next level with the compassion that's already here. So I don't know if you agree with that, Karen, but
I think that was a perfect story. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was actually just taking it all in. I think it's a perfect illustration of exactly what it is that we're talking about. Okay. Absolutely perfect. But it completely demonstrates the change in the direction for humanity when people stepped up together rather than leaving someone who couldn't walk or couldn't take care of themselves behind. They stayed with that person and helped get them whatever it is that they need while they healed. And that's how we found a healed bone. I think that was amazing. And everything that you said and the way that you said it, it was just fantastic, Gay. Thank you. You really conveyed anything that if I had said it, I would have wanted to get those points in there. You really did a fantastic job. And I kind of just put this out there to Gay, and she didn't really have much direction or instruction from me at all. So I just want to say thank you and awesome. I think you did I think you did a really super, super job conveying this. Well, just to add a little bit to it, our intention when we came home from Grenada, when we had another powerful opportunity for us to see what it feels like to hang out soul to soul with people and not have to navigate through the ego as much. There's just such an unlimited feeling of connection when we eliminate needing to manage other people who are living in ego and not living in the soul. So when we came back from Grenada, my intention was to kind of launch Spiritual Billionaires in a bigger way so that we have access to one another, that we don't have to always feel as though it's a struggle to find people that we connect with, where there's a soul to soul connection, where there's an innate ability to, rise above some of the human distracting elements of things that happen when people are living in ego, and to just have a group where you feel like people have your back and you feel welcomed, you feel supported. You don't have to completely 100% always understand what each other is experiencing, but there's just this warmth of acceptance that we know that we're a group of people that live with far less judgment than people outside of that vibration. So I was thinking of it sort of a little bit like a dating app or something where you find the people that you want to hang out with for a particular purpose. I kind of think of spiritual billionaires is the same thing, that we can find each other for a specific purpose. And that specific purpose doesn't have to be anything that's predefined, and it doesn't have to be limited either. It could be that you reach out to this group because you're having, a crummy week and you need someone to help you step into where you'd want to be. It could be that you have a project or you want to hire somebody. It could be that you need an introduction. It could be you want encouragement. It could be you want a cup of coffee with someone that's not going to complain about the world. Whatever whatever spiritual billionaires evolves into, the idea is that I want to take advantage of the fact that we have so many high vibrational energy people that meet at the events that I put out there and on social media through whatever it is that I do. And it is time to take this super group of people and let them be even more amplified in their superness by tapping into the resource of each other. That was phenomenal, Gay. I really appreciate it. And I put it out there, and she could have said no, and she's like, no, I'll do it. Fantastic. So I really appreciate that, Gay. We'll always feel appreciative and thank you forever as we see where spiritual billionaires goes. And I'm sure that it's going to go big and wide when we are out and about more. My intention of having people meet in person that I wanted for 2020, and I had canceled that event without advertising it or promoting it or anything, or paying for the venue, luckily. But we will do that when we're out and about again, because I think it is good to meet in person as well as to be able to meet through my events and online and through Instagram and through social media. And if you are more of a Facebook person, you can find this type of person and piece it together, posting things to keep us happy rather than looking at negative news that might be around us, but to look at positive things. Like a couple of our hero posters, Terry and Marie, and they're here with us today. They're the ones that post things often that make us smile or laugh or think, and inspirational art and courageous people and just cool things all around the world that keep us seeing that the world is a great place to be. It's a fantastic place to be. So thank you for that as well. And little by little, we'll stay connected. I'll create just a specific group of people that I contact for any events that might come up or any possibilities that might come up for spiritual billionaires, that will have a separate group that I can email, and you'll know that you're a part of that group, and we will grow it and we will support one another. And what she was saying about the 501c3 is that I did find out that if I am able to, I know we will be able to, but it's a long process to become designated as a nonprofit. Once I have the designation, I can opt for someone to have an entirely different charitable focus, and they can operate as a DBA under mine. So that's part of the goal of what I want to kick off this year, because it is tedious, it's expensive. And rather than everybody trying to do that and go through all of that by themselves, it's so much easier for you to be able to just do a $25 DBA and function completely with the privileges that we have established. And if Jennifer Highland is on, can you say hello? Is she here? I just want to thank her because she's really my partner completely. Hello. Hey.
This is cool.
She's really helping tremendously with that process. I've wanted to do it for 10 years. Every time I would think about it, it burns me out when I would look at the 26-page filing requirements. So Jennifer, she is like phenomenal. She has stepped up, and she's just absolutely amazing and generous in helping me get that done. So thank you. So this is a super year. This year, if we're relying more on Zoom, I am going to make sure that I give an update for the superpowers of 2021 down the road, maybe in a few more months, because I think it's fantastic when we get to see each other and share. And I think it for me, of course, we're all spending more time separate. And when you're together like this and just listen to even the intentions that each group created, it's affirming. It makes you realize that the wonderful intentions of what Spiritual Billionaires has, which is all of us, our intentions are still there. They're still, they're forming, they're growing, they're prospering, and they're flourishing. Even if we might have a limit in what we can do physically, it is all still there and it is happening. Sometimes it's just good to get together in a visible and audio way so that we can understand that things have not stopped. The power of who we are comes through what we do, whether we're together or when we're apart. And I will just remind you that I am going to be mailing out a gift. The gift, it'll take me some time to create it, so be patient with me. This truly is not a FedEx or United States Postal Office delay, as we've had over the last couple of months. This is a me delay, but I will stay very focused on it. I will not forget you. I will be producing it, and I set time aside to make sure that I do it. Most of you have seen some gifts that I give out at the Year Before Us every year. So, don't expect it to come in the package of like a diamond or anything, because it's usually something goofy that I do in my kitchen, but it will arrive soon. Just do me a favor and make sure that when you registered, that address that you're registered with is where you want it sent to. And if not, send Stryker an email. And if you haven't already done so, Gay, please just leave your email address in the chat room. I did see, I wasn't reading everything, but I did see that Samantha will help you with Insta, and she's really great at that. So thank you so much for the offer, because that's a powerful combination, Samantha and Gay helping out with Spiritual Billionaires. And anyone that has any suggestions or help or contribution that they want to make in moving forward, you're welcome to contact me through Facebook or Karen at KarenGarvey.com. This is it. No more sitting back. Life is way too short to expect the world to become a better place by allowing other people to take the reign. This is our time. We are super. We are phenomenal, and we have superpower in moving forward with the intentions that we have set forth individually and collectively. And I do have a little something, and I'm going to do that whole technology thing again, so just bear with me. And I'm going to leave you with something that we prepared just to kind of capitalize on the energy of the day and our expectations for 2021. And I'll do my best to come back and let everybody say their quick goodbyes and show your faces when we're done. But in case I don't, it's simply because of me and technology, not because I don't want to. So just give me 1 minute. I have a quick 1 minute video to show you. And I know more of what I'm doing now, so I will do that.
Hey, I made my way back. I did it. I can't believe I did it. All right. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We are really connected on earth and eternally. I feel your love. I share your love all the time. Thank you for the power and the super strength that you give me. And thank you for being here today. And I'm sure that we will do a ton more together in 2021. Thank you again. And let me see anyone that's here, just give a wave and a smile so I can take a second to look at all of your individual faces, because that really, really, really fills me up. Thank you. And I will see you soon. I'll keep you posted on anything else coming up. Take care, everybody. Have a super, super year. Love to you all.
Love you.
Oh, I love that.
Bye.
Good job, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Love to
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Bye, Derek.
Oh, really? Yeah, Google Meet.
Hi, Victoria.
Striker.
I miss you.
We miss you too. Oh.
Hi, Brady Bunch.
Thanks, Karen.
Hey, Marie.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to sign off.
All
Love
right.
you guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
I feel like I see people and then they disappear.
Hi,
everyone.
those happy, shining faces. Hi, Kim.
Live. Who will be the next to
Hi,
be booted?
Junior. Hey, Debbie.
I guess
Hey, Debbie.
I have to start randomly booting people. I want to be in the middle like Alice. Was Alice in the middle? No. He's in the middle of mine.
Striker, I want to be in your room right now. I love your decor.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
One.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
I love the word.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Bye,
gang,
everybody.
how are ya?
Good.
Good job, girl.
Thank you.
Hey, your hair looks so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I got it. I cut it a
She
little.
always looks
really
so
great.
beautiful.
Oh,
You'd be
Oh,
like
I
on
see
the
you in the crowd. Hey,
TV,
Dawn.
like, all the time.
Who's on the side there, Debbie and Jen, who I can't see? Oh, is it Robin? Yeah? Hello. That's funny. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.